Well, hello and welcome, folks. I'm going to now turn on some of the sweet sounds of the MX5 there so you can hear it come through your screen, hopefully. Welcome to the Global iRacing League MX5 Cup Challenge. Here we go. We got 5 minutes left, 4.5 minutes left of qualifying. We have 4 laps solo qualifying. Set your best time as you possibly can. And that's actually going to be what decides if you're in the pro division or the amateur division. We place you exactly where you should be based on pace. Pace and not iRating. I know that's actually not very common, but we decided to do it this way for many reasons. You can see here on the screen everyone's best time so far. I think most people have done only about 2 laps, maybe 3. Should be starting the 3rd lap. This is going to be the lap that's their best time, most likely. You can see 24 Celsius ambient temperature and 41 Celsius track temperature. So here we go. Actually, let's go through one single lap. Let me see if I can pull up a chopper view and maybe even the track map. I'm going to pull this away, and here is a track map. Let me see if I can find someone who's maybe a little slower. Here we go. This is actually into the very first hairpin. So we're going to skip turn 1, 2, 3. And out of the very first hairpin, there's a lot of track that you can actually use, as you saw in some of the chase cams actually earlier. Another hairpin. And this is, I think, one of the trickiest ones because it's so tempting to go heavy, hard on that throttle. And it's just, it's really likely that you're going to spin. This is just how that one works, unfortunately, for anyone driving on this track. This is a difficult one based on the stability that's lost through taking all of those bumps. So that one is a little bit treacherous on its own. And then we come up into another hairpin. Imagine that Le Danon is just famous for its hairpins. So this one, it's a tricky one because it's a decreasing radius turn, as you can see on that track map, and also as the car goes around it. Sorry. This track overall is actually quite tricky and sometimes can scare away many of the drivers. It is quite challenging. But because of that, I'm really curious to see if these drivers are up for that challenge. And we're only going to find out once the green flag goes. It looks like Dylan Larson is done his qualifying. I think Stuart Green and Thomas McLeod are the last 2 out. And then once the qualifying is done, I'll be able to pull up the starting grid for everyone. It looks like Connor Tolman has successfully qualified himself into the pro division. No surprise there, I'll be honest. Was very much expecting him to come out swinging. Andres Navarro, he is at 134.0. It looks like he will be our pole position driver. This is a stronger track for Andres this week. Ivanhoe had a clear win last week, so really curious to see how this plays out. We have today our Super Heats format. Now with our Super Heats format, is going to be 3 race starts, all one after the other, with a 2-minute break between race 2, race 3. The first race is going to be a 10-minute use wherever you qualified. That starting position you qualified in will be exactly where you start the race. Andres is going to be in first, second, Ivan will be in second, and so on. As you can see there on the left of your screen. Now, the coolest thing about the next race is the top 4 are going to be inverted. So with the top 4 inverted, if Andres is able to put down that pace that he's showing here in qualifying and make the magic happen, he'll now be in 4th position for the next race, the second race, and 4th position will now be in 1st. Top 4 inverted. So you not only have to prove that you're fast, you also have to prove that you can race around other people. So that's the challenge for that. Then Then what happens for the last race, the second race is 15 minutes with the reverse 4. And then what happens for the very last race is actually 15 minutes again, but a reverse grid of the top 8. So that's gotta be my favorite. Oop. I have to turn that off. I don't know. Do that right? I don't know. Anyways, am I able?
Yeah, good luck. Remember, if you spin, just hold the brakes.
There we go. Is everyone there? No? Okay, here we are. Here is the starting grid real quick before the last cars come into the grid. Andres Navarro, congratulations for that pole position with the amazing lap. 3/10 above Ivan, then Ivan, Connors, Jason, Blake, Brandon, Vlad, Gary, and okay, we gotta pull this away because the race is about to start. Lights are going up in the middle of your screen, and we are about to go. Here we go. Here we go into turn number 1. It looks like Andres got exactly that race start that he was looking for, and these guys are just following in line. This is a very difficult corner for the cold tires. You can make it or break it. It looks, is that Connor trying to dive up the inside on Ivan right through turn 2, turn 3, not able to make it happen. No worse for the wear either car. It looks like he had to back out, rightfully so. I don't think that he was going to be able to stay in control of his car. And you know what? Sometimes you gotta just save yourself for the last few laps instead of try and risk it for the biscuit on the very first lap. There goes that is Brandon Lynn up the inside, Blake Carvery into the second hairpin, and now going down the hill. Here we go. How are they going to take these bumps? Looks like Andres at the very front as well, not able to quite break away from Ivan just yet. Of course, we are only on the very first lap, and let's see how he handles the decreasing radius turn. Looks like Ivan maybe not going to get the exit that he was looking for with that line choice. And Brandon, there is Gary. He's now made a pass on Blake Carvery. There's lots of action going on this very first lap. It looks like Vlad thinking about how to get past Blake Carvery as well. Blake Carvery is down 2 positions. Everyone else in the back there is just exactly where they started. There's Dylan Larson. He's now going to be going too wide with Vlad Sanchez into turn 1, 2, 3 through this huge amount of left turns actually. And are they going to be able to keep it safe around the outside? Vlad is carrying more speed. Is there going to be contact? Oh, and someone has gone off. We're going to take a look exactly how that happened later. Vlad is now on the inside. He was on the outside. Now he's on the inside and into the hairpin. That shorter distance traveled will almost always prevail. And there he goes. Let's just take a quick look. How did... So here is the difficulty of turn 1, 2, 3, and you are going quite fast. And how do you stay on track? And it looks like Gary Otero just ahead. Oh, and just a little bit of rear end stepping out, and away goes Blake. And so that is exactly how Blake got into that grass. Andres not able to break away from Ivanhoe. There's Connor Tolman not far off, and Jason a little bit more back. He is 2.8, 2.9 seconds. Now don't count him out though, because if anything happens at the very front of this field, and he'll be right back into play for the top 3 positions. Absolutely guarantee it. Coming down the hill towards our final corner. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to put car number for our track map. I'm going to put car number, or I can put position. I actually like car number. And that's what we're going to stick with for now. Any feedback, I welcome any and all feedback. At the very front of our field, Andres taking that nice wide line through those first few corners there to get the best exit possible, but maybe on the throttle too soon, and that's going to open up the door for Ivan to think about going up the inside. But Andres far enough ahead where he's not able to pull it off. I'm also wondering if he's trying to conserve his race a little bit, not push his luck, and not bring Connor Tolman into play. Connor is definitely a driver who's very willing to race it out, and he's not going to hold back. I guarantee you that. Here we are with Brandon Lynn and Gary pulling up the inside. Shorter distance traveled is going to prevail once again. And as they go through, and here they go through one of the most all of the corners are difficult, let's be honest. One of the most stability difficult corners. Gary not able to brake early enough to make that apex, and that's bringing Brandon Lynn back into play. Does he go up the inside? A little bit of an accordion effect between Brandon and Vlad. And I do see on my timing tower that Connor and Ivan have swapped positions, and I'm going to just take a quick look. How did that one happen? Here we go. There goes the decreasing radius turn. Bites hard. That's all I gotta say. And there it is, Ivan on the decreasing radius turn, and that allowed Connor Tolman to make a position. He's now into second, and here we go into turn 1, 2, 3 sequence. Gary going around the outside, and this is Brandon Lynn on the inside. Is the shorter distance travel going to help out, or is the higher speed on the outside going to win? It looks like the higher speed on the outside. Oh, it's so close. And this is bringing Vlad Sanchez, Dylan Larson, and Thomas McLeod into the battle. This is absolutely intense. This is madness right here. And this is absolutely what I love the MX5 for. Now, Gary is in the lead of this 5-car pack. Brandon Lynn is in second of the pack here. Dylan Larson, Thomas McLeod, Vlad Sanchez. Vlad Sanchez now shuffled all the way to the very back of this pack. He is down 2 spots. Blake Carvey, after his spin, he is down 5. And he's now just hoping that he can catch up to this group and get in on that battle. I don't think these guys are going to give it up anytime soon. There are 6 minutes that have happened in this race so far. There's 4 minutes to go. You know what? You can do the quick math for how many laps that is. I won't do it for you. You do it for me. Thanks. Anyways, down the hill into the very last few corners, it looks like Thomas McLeod has lost one of those positions that he had gained. He's still up 1 total, and Vlad Sanchez able to get back a little bit higher up in this 5-car pack. And you know, it's anybody's guess how this is going to go. It looks like Brandon Lynn has passed Gary Otero. It was into one of the hairpins and down that hill. The decreasing radius turn is definitely a challenge to be reckoned with, forced to be reckoned with. And this is a little bit of a decreasing radius. Oh, and who is that? Jason off into. Let's just take a quick look. Oh, and here it was. He just lost a little bit of the rear end, I think, and off into the grass. And he was in P4. Okay, back to live. That is exactly how that happened. Back to live, because we want to see this action. Vlad Sanchez up the inside into the hairpin. This is absolutely wild. And this is one of the corners that you really have to be careful on that throttle. Dylan Larson, as we saw last week, Dylan, I believe, was very, very fast at the end. So he did a decent job at taking care of those tires. So I'm really curious to see if he's able to make that happen. If I think it was Dylan Larson, if memory serves me correct. And so I'm really curious if he's going to be able to make that happen once again in this race here. And unfortunately, though, for Dylan, he's now at the back of this 5-car pack, where Vlad Sanchez has made up that spot. He's ahead of Dylan. Dylan is way behind. And here we go up that hill towards that start-finish line for one more lap. I think 2 more laps. It's going to be 2 more laps to go. This is insane racing right here in the very back. We've got Dylan Larson, Thomas McLeod going 2 wide through turn 1, turn 2. Thomas McLeod not able to hang it around the outside. He's tucking in behind as he exits this turn sequence towards that hairpin. We're going to jump right back up here to Gary Otero, and is Vlad Sanchez looking up the inside. He's peeking his headlights. He's blinking. He is trying to see actually if Gary is going to blink with how close he is getting there. And this hairpin right here, if you're not careful, that rear end is gonna start stepping out just exactly like that, a little bit. You really want to get juicy on that throttle, but if you do it too much, too frequently on too many laps, all of a sudden your rear tires are not gonna like you very much. So I'm really curious to see if we're gonna see any action coming out of that corner. The decreasing radius corner that they're coming up to right here, this is going to be the trickiest corner all night, I think. It's not a very great passing opportunity in my experiences here, but it's a really great place to make up some time, make up some pace on the driver ahead of you. Vlad Sanchez going to make a move into the very final corner. Oh my gosh, what is happening? Vlad Sanchez up the inside after the apex of the final corner on Gary, and he is now into 5th position. What is happening here? Oh my gosh. Here we go. Gary is now a little bit ahead. It looks like Vlad was very soft and gentle on the brakes, almost losing that position, and he is not going to have the exit he is looking for, I think, and that's going to allow Gary a chance to fight back into the hairpin, and exactly what's happening right here. Gary up the inside into the hairpin, Vlad round the outside, and those rear tires just did not hold on any longer, and there goes Gary into the barrier. He's going to have to turn that car around. That is going to take a lot of time for Gary to get that spun around, and in the meantime, we're going to have Vlad Sanchez just trying to run away from that group. So here we go. This is, I have to move that track map. Oh boy. How did that happen? I could have swore I fixed that. Anyways, here we go. This is Andres. This is going to be his very last lap. You know what? Here, I'm going to just do this. There we go. Here we go. This is Andres Navarro coming up the hill to that start-finish line. Congratulations, Andres Navarro, for winning our very first race. Qualified on pole, finished in 1st position. Away he goes. Congratulations. There's Connor Tolman. He is up 1 spot with Ivanhoe down 1 spot to round out those podium positions. There's Brandon Lynn. Jason C2 is not up here, so that puts Brandon Lynn into 4th position with Vlad Sanchez right in tow. Dylan Larson, Thomas McLeod, Blake Carvery, who caught up to that group, and away they go. There is Jason C2, Gary Otero.
Hey, Brendan, left.
Quite a bit behind. And there we go. There is Stuart Green and James Cox and Reese's Pieces coming across the line in the very last position. Looks like he ended up where he started. Boom! So really quick, let's just pull this up. Really quick, let's pull that up. There is Andres Navarro. Congratulations for that Heat 1 race. Connor Tolman, Ivanhoe, Brandon Lynn. Brandon Lynn is going to be in P1 starting this race, so that's going to be really interesting. Dylan Larson, Thomas McLeod, Blake Carvery, Jason C2, Gary Otero, down a lot of spots there. Stuart Green, James Cox. And here we go. Let's get back to the race. I do want to pull down, yep, that one. And where is our number? Perfect. And we are getting ready to go. The lights are up in the middle of the screen. 3, 5, 4, 5. Off we go. Let's get a bit of a bird's eye view as they head into the very first corner right here. Looks like Ivanhoe is going to be very aggressive early on. He is going to take the lead of the race as we head through the first sequence of lefts, and Connor Tolman is following through on that gap that was left wide open. And there goes a spinning car. Thomas McLeod looks like he is having a little bit of a spin. He has recovered the car, no contact, nothing. So he'll be able to carry on, luckily, with no damage, in the hopes that some of the other cars end up just maybe making mistakes so he can come back into that race. There's Andres Navarro. He is up the inside of Brandon Lynn. So the positions that we had at the start have now, after half of a lap, essentially been inverted again. So the top 3 are there, ready to battle it out. Now, the driver that was missing from the very top 4 of the qualifying, Jason Situ, he is in the very back at P10. So he has a long way to go. He's actually down 1 position currently. So maybe not the race start that he was looking for, because he definitely had a really good qualifying. Looks like Brandon Lin is in a little bit of trouble. Let's find out exactly what happened there. So here is Brandon Lin. He's coming into the decreasing radius hairpin, hits the brakes, and looks like he's going a little bit wide. Something is happening to his car. He goes, that's odd, a little bit on the brakes on the exit. Maybe a little bit misjudged from Vlad as well, but a little bit odd to go on the brakes as you exit after the apex. I guess first lap we'll have to review it and see what happened, but yeah, oh well. Away he went, but at least he'll be able to carry on. Brandon Lin is still very much in the race. As you see, he's coming into the very first hairpin right here. On the track map, you can see it. I'm going to look at the very front of this grid of this race, not the grid race. Ivanhoe is in the lead right now on lap 2, 2 minutes in. And he's got Connor and Andres hot on his tail. Really curious to see, is Andres going to be aggressive early on? This is, of course, a 15-minute race. So it's not the shortest race ever. Here is Vlad Sanchez. After that, he is up 1 position. A lot of people gaining positions. Blake Carvey gaining position, and here we go. There is Andres trying to be aggressive, not able to make it happen, so he's gonna have to stick with 3rd position for now. But there is Vlad Sanchez just being nice and consistent, no spinning. He is up 1 spot. Dylan Larson, same thing. Blake Carvey, he's up 2 spots, lucky for him. Gary Otero up 3 spots. That is a really great drive so far. And here we have the biggest loser of the evening, so of the second race anyways, is down 7 spots, Brandon Lin. A little bit, tides are a little bit against him there, having started at the very front. But also the little bit of that incident may have been the cause. Stuart Green is up 2 spots, so he's having a great race there. James Cox is up 2 spots. Jason Situ is down 2, so he's crashed for some odd reason. I'm not sure why. I want to take a look. Jason Situ, how did he crash? Let's see. Go a little faster. Okay, so there we go. That was the little bit of a bum. Okay, so nothing big really, but enough to slow him down quite a bit. Here we go. So we have 2 cars that are 2 battles, I should say, that are very close battle for the lead. We got Ivanhoe here. Andres, where are you? You should be in this battle right here. It looks like Ivanhoe's being very aggressive on that inside line. A little bit too aggressive on the throttle for both of these drivers, I think, with that rear end stepping out. Really curious to see how they're going to deal with those tires for the length of this race. They still have 10.5 minutes to go. There is Dylan Larson making the pass on Vlad Sanchez. That decreasing radius corner is just absolutely snake biting everyone. Here we go into turn 1. Is Connor gonna go for it? Is he gonna hang in tight? They're using every inch of the track trying to get to that wall. That is brave, I gotta say. Those bumps are not easy to deal with. Connor, is he looking up the inside? He is poking his nose. And as we see it also, Brandon Lin and Gary Otero. Looks like Brandon's trying to gain back one of those spots, a much shorter distance traveled. Is Gary going to be able to hold on to that spot into the hairpin? The inside line into the hairpin is a huge advantage. Brandon Lin not able to make it happen, it looks like. At the very front, through the hairpins, looks like Connor Tolman not able to get that overlap either, so he's got to hang out and just wait it out a bit, just a little bit. I don't think very long, trust me on that one. He is pushing and pushing to try and find that gap. Ivan is just not backing down. into the decreasing radius. Oh, and this is going to be tight as we go into the decreasing radius, braking zone, shorter distance traveled. I don't think he's going to be able to make this happen, but let's watch and find out. Tucks in behind a better exit from Ivan, and that decreasing radius turn, there's just absolutely no way, I'm sorry, that you're going to make it round the outside. Is it worth trying? Absolutely, but at the risk now, as you can see, is of bringing Andres Navarro into the mix. Andres is now in third place, as he has been for quite some time, but with 0.5 second gap. He was 2.5 second gap, and now look at him, he is definitely within this battle here. So that is a dangerous spot to have a very fast driver who is the winner of the very first race. You definitely don't want to battle to the point that it brings someone back into that mix. Here is Brandon Lynn. Is he going to go up the inside? Shorter distance travel, does it prevail? It's not going to be the faster exit. Is Gary going to have the inside into the hairpin once again? This is just deja vu into the hairpin for Brandon Lynn, trying to find a way through. And it looks like Gary really has that outside high-speed line down pat for the first sequence of corners. Just, oh. Wow, what racing here. Le Donon really brings out good, really great racing, honestly. It is a very difficult track to pass, as you're witnessing right now. But the ability to go side by side for so much of this lap and really duke it out is amazing. And here we go for the lead race. Andres Navarro is now in second. Ivan Ho, he must have made a mistake, and we're going to check back exactly how this happened. That decreasing radius turn just absolutely shuffled the very front of this field. Let's take a look at how that started. And here we go into the decreasing radius turn, and a little bit too much juice. And there you go, that is exactly how Ivanhoe lost out on the lead of this race. Looking a little further back, Gary is still battling it out with Brandon Lynn. And now, if you don't want to bring another car into that mix, battling so much, you gotta be wise about when and how you make those passes. The battle for overlap, if you're battling so much that it actually allows the car behind to catch up, this is the exact scenario that these two, now three, have. You know, lucky for Blake though, because look, he's now got a chance to gain 2 positions if there's any mistake or if there's any gaps, anything that happens, he's got an opportunity to make 2 positions, and that can be putting him in a really great spot for championship points in the season. Real quick, I see Jason has crashed, and I just want to take a look. How did that happen? Here is Jason crashing on that decreasing radius turn, and this is one of the reasons why Jason, he qualified very, very well, and just unfortunately not able to put a race package together tonight, it's looking like. And that can happen for any reasons. We have no idea. We're not in his head. We're not as rigged. But, you know, you can imagine that sometimes this track, especially this track, can really get into your head. And if it gets into your head, it gets into your confidence. It's just really hard to hit those marks of the apex, the exit, the throttle point, throttle ramping up point, everything. And that might be what we're seeing with Jason Situ back there. We'll have to find out in race 3 if he does okay. At the very front, we have Connor Tolman. He is defending the lead with every fiber of his being through the second hairpin and down this hill where the car starts to get unstable. He wants the inside as he comes down the hill. Is Andres gonna fight him? Oh my gosh, up this unstable bumps through the sewer grates, round the outside. Andres is gonna have the much advantaged line into the next sequence of corners. Is Connor Tolman gonna give it up easy into the decreasing radius corner? Here we go. This is gonna be no doubt at all that Andres is going to be able to come out alive in the lead of this race as they head into the final quarter. These guys are still side by side. Look at them go down the hill, and here we go. Overlap has finally been broken. Andres is now in the lead of the second race after that reverse grid, and there's been a bump. Oh my gosh. Andres got a tiny bit of a bump from Connor. Very, very unfortunate. And that has put Ivanhoe into the lead of the race. Wow. That is just incredibly close racing. An unfortunate happening for Andres. He had this race in the bag, and now he's down into 5th position. That is going to be a tough place to crawl back from. I think that there's about a 6-second gap to the leaders, so that with 4 minutes left, I don't think he's going to be able to claw that back, but you know what, you never know. I wouldn't put it past him, but I wish him luck. I do. that is unfortunate. Into the downhill. And Andres backing out. Okay, so let's take a look a little bit further back. So it looks like Gary Otero is still in the lead here of this group. Brandon Lynn trying to battle it out hard. And Blake, where did Blake go? Blake, where'd you go, bud? No, Blake. Little bit of a spin, and that is one of the corners that going to be very difficult to keep that rear end nice and stable, nice and consistent. This corner too, the decreasing radius, the exit of his, it's just so tempting to really smash that throttle down, and trust me, it really doesn't help. it doesn't do you any favors. Here we go into the very final corner. We have 2 minutes remaining. I'm gonna have to do quick math. I think that's gonna be 2 laps, maybe 3. Let's see where Ivanhoe is on the track. I think this might be 3 more laps. Let's see what everyone's fastest lap is, just for science. Best time. For science, guys, for science. 1:33. I think that there will be 3 more laps. Please do the calculations. I don't know. Once again, these guys are going side by side, taking that risk. You can see the Brembo brakes on that MX5. Such a lightweight car. Does it really need Brembos? I guess so. Here we go up the inside of Stuart Green is Jason C2. He wants to gain back some of those positions. So he's got a total of 1 spot gained. Where is Connor Tolman? Something has happened to Connor Tolman. How did that happen? Up the inside of the decreasing radius turn on Vlad Sanchez, and that is a very aggressive move. It looks like there was space, and he took it. That is a position gained back on Vlad Sanchez. Brandon Lynn, and this, almost. Okay, so how did that transpire? Dylan Larson passing Connor Tolman. How? I want to see how this one happened. Okay, so you know what has happened there? I'm going to have to take a guess that Connor Tolman, that from the previous incident between him and Andres, wanted to show a little bit of respect and give that position back to Andres, or help him get that position back. That is my guess. Knowing Connor, it's very likely that is what was happening. And so now he's, in 4th position. Dylan Larson is there in 2nd position. Ivanhoe, he is just so far ahead. With that luck that he's had, he's now far in the lead. Coming down the hill, you can see there is Dylan Larson. Is he going to use all of that track like Andres is? You can see Andres' car just absolutely jumping around like a monster truck. It looks quite awkward, but it really is the fastest way to drive that corner. It's wild, isn't it? Take the sewer grates. The Mazda MX-5 has enough ground clearance. You can see, just like Brandon Lin, he is doing it as well. Jason C2 is now starting to get closer and closer. Stuart Green is catching up as well. So Gary and Brandon battling it out so much for this position, really bringing other cars into the mix. I'm really curious if it's ever going to end, but here we go. There is Ivanhoe coming across the finish line, winning our second race. Congratulations. There's Dylan Larson coming across in second, Andres Navarre, Connor Tolman, Vlad Sanchez, Gary Otero, Brandon Lin. They have not finished the race. They're now coming up the hill to that start-finish line. Is Brandon going to be able to make that pass? And it's going to be to the line, and here we go. There is Gary. He is just barely ahead. Jason almost caught him. A little bit of a fun bump after that finish line has been crossed. There is Stuart Green, Blake Carvery, James Cox coming up the hill in the Reese's Pieces, pulling up the rear, gain 1 position. And there is Thomas McLeod after that spin at the very start of the race. Gonna be finishing in last, down 5 spots total. That is a lot of spots down. Congratulations, Ivanhoe, for winning the second race of our evening. So that is going to mix things up quite a bit. I can't wait. Absolutely cannot wait to see how this last race goes. This now gives me some time to pull up. Here we go. Does it pull up? No? Come on. Come on. There we go. Thank you. Thank you very much. There we go. This is the result of that second race. So, Ivanhoe in first place after all of that chaos. Dylan Larson able to sneak up there into second place, get it done. And so he's able to gain some good season championship points. I think he's currently leading the amateur division, and he's going to be battling against Brandon Lin for amateur division. Vlad Sanchez currently in third for amateur division, just to give you an idea. Ivanhoe leading the pro division. Franco Aguirre, I think it was Aguirre. He is not here tonight. He is in second. And then Jason C2, who's not having the race of his life, is in third position for the pro division. Andres Navarre in fourth position for the overall standings. Just to give you an idea of where the drivers are in standings after that first race, where you're seeing them in the second race. And, you know, after, we're going to have to tally up all the points and put it all together, see where everyone's at. That's funny. It says Winton Raceway. This is not Winton. I have Ledanon. There we go. There. Does it update? There we go. Look at that. Magic. Magic on the fly, right? Magic on the fly. And so with that said, we're now almost done the warm-up, about to start this next race. This is a really great time to go over something that I love doing, and the 3 key points, my 3 key points of this next race. I would actually say get a good start is often my number one, but MX5, it's pretty easy. You just clutch dump. So I would say have a good reaction time. Have a good reaction time. Make sure that you're quick enough so that you're not actually losing position off the very start of the race. Have a quick reaction time. Number 2 is just keep yourself in control for the first bunch of corners. Nothing crazy. You just want to keep yourself in control. Let's pull that away. I don't want to see that anymore. Keep yourself in control, and then also think about the long haul of the race. Don't try and push yourself too hard, too fast. Try and hold out for the, for the first few laps. Don't lose any positions and gain the positions after 5 laps. And that would be my game plan. Here we go. Lights are off and away we go. We can see a car in the very background going very aggressive on the very start of that race. He wants to go up the inside line, and we are now heading into turn 1. There is Jason C2. He is in the lead of the race. He is making best that he can, making do, really, taking advantage, I should say, of that reverse grid. Connor Tolman being a little bit aggressive on that race start, up a position. There is Andres also being aggressive, but oh, and that has actually bit him in the butt. That has put him at the very back of the pack. He is now down 6 spots. That is going to hurt his points for this race evening if he cannot recover. And that goes on to that exactly what I was saying is you know, that third race point is don't be too aggressive early on. Everyone of course is bunched up together, but if you believe in the pace that you have, you believe in the package that you can put together in a race, no need to push it too hard, too fast. You know, nice steady Eddie is always going to have the best results, especially if it's spread out over 3 races, which is what we've got here. Looking a little bit ahead, Brandon Lynn is really trying to push his luck for the lead of the race on Jason C2. Jason, is he going to back out into the very final corner? And that door has been absolutely blasted wide open. Jason has lost 2 spots now. There's a whole fleet of cars battling down that start-finish line. Who's going to take the inside line? Who's going to take the outside? Is this going to be a 3 wide into turn 1? Absolutely wild. Vlad Sanchez, the Vlad sandwich, actually. The Vlad sandwich down that start-finish line. He is able to get out of that 3 wide situation, go around the outside on that one car. Dylan is gained 2 spots. That has put Vlad down 2 spots. Up the inside, 3 wide, under braking. Ivan being very aggressive, not getting the exit that he was hoping for. I don't think that was his plan, but here we are right now. Connor Tolman being very, very aggressive, it looks like. Choosing not to wait. He is now in 2nd position, trying to chase down the leader of the race to take that lead and try and break away and get ahead by pace. And here we go. This is Vlad Sanchez, Dylan Larson, Stuart Green, Ivan Ho. Ivan is down a few spots now. He was very aggressive early on, and it seems to, in the decreasing radius turn, look at that, in one single turn, up 3 spots. A little bit or a lot of a missed apex by all of the cars ahead of him, and there goes Ivan. This is crazy racing through the last corner, 2 wide. Andres had a little bit of a bump to the car ahead. Looks like Blake did not get the exit that he was hoping for, and that's put Dylan ahead, and Ivan is now free to break away. He is not giving up that draft. Dylan Larson is going to fight for his life. Andres Navarre, after that little bit of a spin bump, he is trying to gain some of those spots back. Is he going to be able to get them back? I have no idea. There goes Thomas McLeod spinning into the grass into the very background. Blake Carvey, he is up 1 spot. Stuart Green, he is still in it here. He is in it to win it in this pack. He has been poking his nose every chance that he's had. So he is definitely not holding back. He is here at the very back of the pack, ready to pick up the pieces from anyone willing to give it to him. Way up ahead, it looks like Connor Tolman has taken the lead of this race. Let's just take a quick look. How did that happen? Looks like into the hairpin, a little bit of a missed apex, and Connor able to get up the inside, get that track position on him, and it looks like Brandon did not fight him too hard at all. He did not fight him too hard at all. So there is Connor Tolman in the lead of the race. We got Brandon Lynn in 2nd, Gary in 3rd, Jason C2. While he has lost some of those spots, he is still in a really great position to score some good championship points. You don't want to look too far back though, because there is Ivanhoe coming up the hill. He is 3.9 seconds back off of Jason here. So there he is. There is 3.9 seconds right there. But with Ivan's pace, as we've seen, is he going to be able to make up that time? Let's find out. There's Andres. shorter distance traveled, able to make that happen and also get the exit that he's looking for, so that there's no chance of Dylan to gain that spot back into the hairpin. So now Dylan and Vlad, now they back to battling it out. Really curious to see how that one goes. So Brandon and Gary as well. These two back at it right near each other. Gary has a new task on his hand though. Jason is hot on his tail. And if I'm looking at the numbers correctly, I think Jason has a little bit more pace than Gary. So is it going to happen? Is he really going to push his luck, make a move up the inside, make a move around the outside? Really curious to see how this unfolds. I'm going to pull up that track map. I don't know why I have that not done that yet. It's beyond me. Sometimes that's just how it goes. But anyways, here is that track map. We have 6 minutes into this race so far. And what a race this has been. Connor Tolman has that 2.4 second gap. Oh, and there goes Ivan. There goes Ivan. Let's take a look exactly how did that happen. Ivan, he has the pace as we've seen into the very final corner. He is trying to push his luck and push that car, and it just was not gonna happen. Those rear tires, the apex, maybe is more about the apex, let's be honest here. And braking too late, it just did not do him any favors, and it put him in a spin. He's down 2 positions total. Looks like he's going to be able to get one of those spots back, at least from Stuart Green making that mistake. Does the dive come up the inside? There it does. Predicted that one, saw it coming a mile away. But so he's down 1 spot, but that is a lot of loss for Ivan, coming from a race win in that second heat. Connor Tolman now 3 seconds ahead. Is he going to be an uncontested leader at the front? Hopefully no mistakes from Connor's driving. He has another 7.5 minutes to go. We are halfway through this race. The decreasing radius turn has bit a few people in the butt. That last corner seems to be biting the most people on this race. So here is Andres Navarro. Let's just take a quick look. Everyone's best time. What is everyone's best time so far? There we go. We can see what is everyone's general pace. And if you're curious, what is the weather? There is the weather. That is 25 Celsius ambient temperature, 46 Celsius track temperature. So it is a very, very hot track, guys. This is not an easy track to be fast on. There's Andres Navarro just hanging it out, hanging that rear end out to dry as he goes through the first sequence of corners. Absolutely amazing driving. I don't know how long those tires are going to be able to last doing it like that, but you know, that is a heck of a lot of fun, I gotta say. And what happened here? Someone got past, so I want to just, looks like Gary, no, oh, you know what happened? That was a slowdown. So Jason made that pass up the inside on Gary. He needed to give that position back because of the slowdown that he got from cutting that corner. So what a plot twist. Able to make a pass and having to give it back. Rightfully so, because, you know, if you go off track, cut the corner, you can't just run away with the position, of course. It really does make sense. And so Jason, he had it, and then all of a sudden he didn't. I'm going to just take a quick look here. Stuart Green and James Cox, these guys are close together. Stuart Green and James, they're duking it out. They're now within 1 second of each other as they head around that final corner up that start-finish straight. This car has a huge amount of draft effect. So James, you're going to see on that relative gaining a lot of pace as they head into turn 1. Real quick though, I want to head back up to Gary Terra, Jason C2, and Andres Navarro, who's now in diving up the inside on Jason. He wants to gain a lot of those positions back. He wants to fight for the lead of this race. Let's be honest here. As we head into the second hairpin, there is absolutely no braking marker there, but there is Ivan up the inside, under braking on Blake Carvery. He's trying to gain back some of that lost positions. 9.6 seconds with under 5 minutes to go. I don't think he's going to be able to get many more unless there's any kind of big accident, crash, something. But I guess we'll see how that one goes, right? There's Andres. He's on the... I'm going to have to get rid of that logo. He's on the decreasing radius turn, round the outside. That is going to be a tough sell. He's going to have to go too wide into the final corner with Gary Otero. Is he going to make it work? Round the outside. That is a tough sell, I got to say. Round the outside into the final corner, up the hill. I can't believe he got the exit that he was hoping for, and he is able to make that pass. Holy smokes. And there is, now because of the bad exit, Jason is up the inside on Gary into the very first corner. Shorter distance traveled. Gary, as we saw, loves this outside line. Is he going to be able to make it stick? Looks like Jason able to break the overlap, take that track position back, and put his car in that defensive position ahead of Gary. Gary not able to make that dive up the inside into the hairpin. And just like that, magic has happened, and we have a whole bunch of cars back together in that same space, occupying all of that space on track within a second of each other. Absolutely crazy. I want to just take a quick peek once again. Stuart Green and James Cox, they are quite close together. Reese's Pieces there to pick up the pieces. And I think that these guys are battling a little bit of consistency between corners. A lot of times as a driver, it's very hard to keep focused and not make any mistakes corner by corner. I gotta say, it's one of the toughest things to learn. Very easy to be a hot lap hero, set one amazing lap, but now can you do that lap after lap, corner by corner, trying to hit every braking marker as close as possible to that fastest lap? That consistency, that is a challenge, and that is a mental game that you have to play with yourself in all these moments for 15 minutes. And this is not just this 15 minutes. There is another race. Oh, and there we go. There goes Stuart Green, has spun, and that is the challenge that you've got to keep your mind in the game. James Cox is now up one position, gaining that spot. Stuart Green, maybe from the pressure of having that car behind, not able to hold it together, but hitting the marks lap after lap. This is 15 minutes here, but there's a 15-minute race prior. Then there's a 10-minute first initial race. That is a lot of time to keep your brain focused and at an attention state. That is the challenge that we offer here. And anyone who your brain just randomly thinks, hey, look at that squirrel, oh wow, I wonder what's for dinner, boom, I guarantee you're going to be off that track. Guaranteed. Here we go into the decreasing radius turn. There is Dylan Larson up the inside. Gary was defending it, but then left a slight opening, and Dylan able to make use of that and walk right through the doorway, and he's now got Jason on his sights. Vlad Sanchez, Gary Otero. I wonder how this one's going to go as we head through that final corner. Vlad Sanchez is going to have the inside. As we know, Gary loves the outside. How are Gary's tires? Are they going to be able to hold up? And at the very front of the field, there is Andres up the inside, able to make that pass happen. Here is Vlad and Gary going around the first sequence of corners and into the sand. Gary touches sand and gonna lose that position. Vlad Sanchez able to make the magic happen. He's there to deliver pizza. If anyone didn't know, this livery is a pizza shop. Portillo's Lord? I can't say it. Bloody hell. Anyways, it looks like he's Pizza Boy. He's sending it home. Oh, and a big mistake through the second hairpin. Is that going to bring Gary back into play? Not quite. Not quite. Let's take a look. Where is Connor Tolman? He is going to be on the very last lap. This is going to be the white flag lap with 10 laps in this race. That is the very final hairpin. I think that Andres, yep, he is a little far back. He is a little over 8 seconds. He has Brandon Lynn on his tail. Doubtful that anything will change there. Here is Connor Tolman into the very last corner, and now that he's exited the corner, he just has to hold that pedal to the metal, and he is going to be taking home the race win of our third race this evening. Congratulations, Connor Tolman, coming across that start-finish line, taking that checkered flag, winning our third race of this evening once again. There is Andres Navarro coming across in second. What a recovery drive. There's Brandon Lynn in third, Jason Situ in fourth, Dylan Larson, Vlad Sanchez, Gary Otero. Wow. There is Ivan Ho coming across, taking his checkered flag. A race for Ivan to forget. I'm sure there is Blake. He is up one spot. Coming across, taking his checkered flag. James Cox, Reese's Pieces, here to pick up the pieces. And let's see how many pieces he can lay down on the ground as he heads into... Oh! Upside down. Oh, crash it back. I always love this. I find it so entertaining, and there's one more car. What's going to happen? Let's see what kind of an effect he can have. Oh, you missed. You missed. That's all I got to say. And let's pull up those race results. Congratulations once again for Connor Tolman taking that win of the third race. There is Andres Navarro with that recovery drive, able to get back up into a really great point scoring position. And then Brandon Lynn, where Brandon is for the amateur division, that's going to be some really strong points. I can't wait to see how that's going to go for all the standings, because Brandon Lynn is fighting against Dylan Larson. So Dylan is 2 spots down. There's Jason Situ. He's finally up close, actually exactly where he qualified in P4. So Jason back up where he belongs in 4th position, getting some good pro division points. Dylan Larson in 5th, battling it out. That first lap, I gotta say, was absolutely wild. 5th position for Dylan. Vlad is 3rd position for amateur division, here in 6th for the race finish. Really curious to see how our standings will get mixed up after this race. Gary in 7th. Ivan Ho with a race I think he would want to forget, down in 8th position. Blake Carvery in 9th, James Cox in 10th, Stuart Green 11th, and Thomas McLeod once again in 12th position. Way back. Let me jump onto our Discord and see if there's anyone that I can pull into an interview. And here we go. Hello, hey Andres, how are you doing?
Oh wait, I have the stream open.
You have the stream open, so you're going to hear a lot of echo. Hopefully not.
I'm very well, thank you.
So how are you feeling after that last race?
Oh, it was pretty intense, man. I'm pretty tired, to be honest. But no, yeah, I don't think I don't know if you saw the incident that caused me to go to the back.
Saw it. I watched that live, of course.
Oh my god, it was so dumb. It was my mistake. So yeah, I'm glad I could make it to the podium at least.
Yeah, getting up the inside, a little bit aggressive, and all of a sudden you're in the wrong kind of position on the track. But you know what? Able to hold it together and get all the way back up into 2nd position. So after you made that mistake and all of a sudden you're on the side of the track, what was going through your mind? Out of curiosity.
No, I mean, just going back to the race, I knew I could overtake some people. I'm gladly there was a huge pack in front, so I could gain a few places there. Then Ivan could was the one of the drivers that could hold me up, but he spun in front of me, so I was one place less.
Yeah, a little bit of luck, a little bit of consistency, and able to get back into second position. And you had some amazing pace for qualifying. In that first race, you did really well. The second race did really well. So I can't wait to see where you come out in the points. I see Franco wasn't here tonight. Connor was here. So, after 3 weeks, one drop week will be applied. Really excited to see where you mix in, and maybe your first week will be your drop week.
Maybe. I mean, then now that you mention it, Franco is not here. I just noticed, so that's help for me. But yeah, we'll see. It's getting really exciting. I'm glad we had really good racing. So
Absolutely.
great, great night overall.
Absolutely. Some of the racing I've witnessed, everyone is just so close to each other. The respect being shown, absolutely, absolutely amazing. Love it.
Yep, great
I,
racing by everybody, and this track facilitates it. So really good.
I'm going to drag you back over and bring someone else in.
Okay, see you guys.
Hello. Hey, Tom Peters. How's it going?
All right.
So this is the broadcast. This is live. I know you weren't actually in the race. You missed the race. I think you watched it. Just guessing. Um, but yeah, you are. I just actually wanted to take this moment to say, hey, you're actually the new admin for the MX5 League this season, and just say congratulations for taking on that, and thank you also for taking on that role. And yeah, is there anything you? Oh, no.
I heard him. Oh,
Well,
there.
hey,
Oh, there we
come
go.
back, come
Hey.
back.
All right, I'm back.
Okay. I just wanted to say, yeah, I wanted to say congratulations for taking on and thank you for taking on the role of admin within the MX5 team here. So I just wanted to say congratulations and thank you. And yeah, if I know that you missed this race, I think you watched it.
I did watch most of it. Yeah, I was setting up a new PC and I just didn't finish it in time. I think I was about 15 minutes too late.
Oh, that sucks. That's just nail biting. So now you've missed 2 weeks. So what are you thinking about next week? Are you excited?
I can't wait. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting back into the swing of things. So it's disappointing that I missed this week's.
Yeah, absolutely. I wish you could have been out there. I want to see if you're going to be able to qualify yourself into the pro division this season. I think you did last season.
I did, yeah. Right when I think as soon as I got first place in the amateur, I qualified for pro, so I got bumped up to pro. But had a good battle, for third place with a couple other guys with Brandon and some others. So it was a good time. Franco, I think, was the other one that we were battling with each other.
Yeah, and what is next week's track? Alton Park?
I believe so. Yes. Yeah.
And I think we're also going to bring some rain in the final race. What do you think of that?
It's going to be interesting. I was testing for tonight's race and did not adjust for the weather, so there was a light sprinkling, and I had the slicks on, and that's not fun. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens when the rain comes, if it comes right away or if it comes later in the race. What happens with those tires? Because rain plus dry tires is not a fun time.
Absolutely. I'm gonna bring you back into the other chat and bring Dylan over, and that'll be my last interview.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you, Dylan. How's it going?
Hey, how you doing, Michael?
Doing great. How about you?
Yeah, not too bad. That was quite an exciting race.
How you feeling? That was what, 10, 15, and 15, 30, 40 minutes of racing was that? How you,
Oh man,
I saw you
that
were
was.
duking it out with a lot of people back and forth. What was your favorite moment of the night?
I gotta say, me and Vlad are kind of getting a little rivalry going. We had a good little scrap in the last race, and now this race between the heats, we're having a good battle between each other.
Yeah, you know what? You guys are very close in the points together. I can't wait to see how it stacks up once it's all tallied up together. Um, yeah, I think that yeah, you are a little ahead of him here, but I think in other races he was ahead of you, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was maybe one heat here that he was ahead of me, but after these points come through and we see the standings, it'll be really exciting to see how they play out in the future races.
Absolutely, and Brandon Lynn is another person to watch out for. He finished 2 spots above you, and he's battling it out for the amateur division title as well against you. So there's going to be another interesting story, really, as the season goes on. Um, how did you feel about this track and just all of the cars? How did that feel to be in such like a pack of cars for so long?
Oh man, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, this track I really struggled on as I was practicing, but I'm glad I could keep up with the pace of everyone. And Brandon had what a drive at this last race, third position. That's incredible. Um, and what he was second in the standings before he came to this race. So it's gonna be really really cool to see how it plays out. I mean, it looks like me, Brandon, and Vlad are gonna have a three-way battle coming down the season.
Yeah, and I think that if Blake can pick up some pace, he's going to be up there with you as well. Gary Otero, I know in the past he's shown really great pace. If he can pick up that pace as well, it's going to be quite a fight in the amateur division. I'm telling you.
Oh, absolutely. It's gonna be a good one.
Okay, and thank you for this quick little interview. I'm going to drag you back to the other Discord there, the other
Okay.
Discord channel, and end the broadcast. Thank you very
Well, thank you very
much.
much, Michael. Thank you for the interview.
And with that, that now commences our broadcast. Thank you all for watching round 2 of MX5 Cup at Le Denon. And with that, I now say have a good night, have a good evening, have a good afternoon, good morning. I hope you enjoyed the broadcast. I can't wait till next week, Olton Park. And yeah, we are going to make it rain just a little bit, not a lot, to give some, I guess, fun factor to see what happens. And because, yeah, rain is fun. Anyways, here we go. See you guys all next week.
Control, will you help me? When I lost control, we are lost. Yeah, we lost control. Yeah, we lost control. Love about a liquor boy, will you hit me up? I lost control. Will you help me? Love about a liquor boy, will you hit me up? I lost control. Will you help me?